Could you pass the sugar? Piece of cake. Nice flowers, Move.
You can't rewrite history. But every October, new history is made. Catch up with the postseason on MLB Network.
Should have had that.
Yeah, been there.
Reach out, oh, red and see. Reach out, red and see. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the car. For the home team, if they don't win, it's a shame. Play ball.
Hello, everybody, and a very pleasant good evening to you wherever you may be. Welcome to Reach Out with Ray and Steve and me, the show where East meets West, where the Yankees meet the Dodgers, and baseball meets music, and we all come together for community. All right, let's bring on my compadres, Mr. Ray Negrone and Steve Vaccaro. Where are you, gentlemen?
Hello.
Hey, Robbie.
Hello.
How are you? You're a
Hello.
busy man.
You're
Hello,
busy.
Mr. World Travel.
How you guys doing?
We're
I
doing
know that
okay.
we should be at Yankee Stadium right now where the Dodgers are going to get ready for game 3 or game 4 of the World Series against the Yankees, but ain't happening, is it? In our reality.
What's happening?
No, but let me just say that I got a phone call today from the Gray Advertising Company, and because evidently you was running through an airport and jumping over some hoops. You was carrying Frankie on your shoulder, jumping on an airplane. You barely got in. I mean, it's unbelievable. You're all over the country, all over the world. Are you okay? Are you tired?
I am tired a little bit, but I'm getting ready. Hey, I'm going to come out and see you guys next week.
Yeah, you come to the East Coast.
I am. We're playing in
New
NJ.
Jersey.
So West meets East.
There you go.
Yeah,
Wow, we're gonna have to crash your party.
we're going to have a big party.
I'll cry if I want to.
We're going to have a rebound party.
Cry if I want to.
We haven't been together in a couple of weeks. He's in rare form here.
I see
You
that.
would cry too if it happened to Frankie.
And there's a schedule, right? Red Bank, New Jersey. You're going to be at the New Jersey Performing Arts Center, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, California, in your neck of the woods. I mean, you were going all over the place.
Hey, man, rock and roll. You can't keep. I'm just trying to keep up with that 88-year-old Energizer Bunny.
You know what, Robbie?
What's that?
Swear to God, there's no one else I'd rather be. But
Man,
Robbie
oh, man.
Robinson.
Wow. Well, come on. Can you mute him for a few minutes?
He's still auditioning for 4 seasons, isn't he?
He's still. So how did the Yankees and Dodgers get ousted and watching the Phillies and Astros? How did this happen?
Boy, I don't know. And I'm still heartbroken. But I will say something positive.
Okay.
Last night, I watched the beginning of that game in Philly. And you know what jumped out at me? You're supposed to say what?
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 What jumped out at me was the fact that the energy of that crowd in Philadelphia was on fire, and that team was energized and they were into it. And I just loved the positive everything about it. And I love the fact that the Astros got beat. Maybe that's part of it. But I do think there was a really cool energy going on there. And that's what baseball is about. When the the hometown fans can go out and root for their home team kind of thing, and they were doing it in a big way in Philly.
Look, Robbie, look, let's stop all that, okay? Okay, I don't want to hear about no Philly Astros. I just want to know, look, you took a beating like I took a beating.
Yeah,
okay?
we both did.
Simple as that, okay? You deal with your owner, I deal with my owner, okay? Now, Robbie, come on. You're the GM now, okay? Frankie Valli has fired you, but your owner has given you the job of general manager of the Dodgers. Now, what is the first move that Robbie Robinson, the general manager, makes?
I kind of know what he's going to
No,
say.
let him talk.
I know, but I know what he's
Let
going
him
to say.
talk.
He's been saying it every week.
I don't want to hear
There's
you.
a big, tall right-handed hitter
Now, see?
in New York that I think would look really good at batting cleanup in L.A.
Wow.
Now, if you didn't get him, what would you do?
Well, then we'd have to get back. We'd have to see if we could get. Well, let me think about that.
Your
Tommy
shortstop
Davis
is
is
on
no
the
longer
run.
with this, and neither is
Would
more.
you keep your manager and coaches?
No,
Wow.
Wow.
Woo!
no.
Oh, my goodness. Your manager watches this show, by the way.
I know. You know what? And Dave Roberts is a class act all the way, but I think we need new regime in there.
Whoa.
So, Robbie, how often do you go through musicians on tour?
I refuse to answer that question.
Okay.
Wow. I see Frankie's watching the show, by the way, on private chat.
Right. But, we're going to suffer through this World Series, and there's always next year, right? Sarah Nimitz knows that tune.
Yeah,
Wait
she
till
does.
next year. She's a Cubby, and she's got a new album out. That's pretty cool, right?
You know what? And I haven't really had a chance to sit down and listen to it because I've been running all over the world and doing so much other stuff. But I'm really excited. I can't wait to sit down and listen to it because she is an extraordinary talent. And anything that she touches pretty much turns to gold. And she's a genius in so many respects. Speaking of her genius, and you know what? She and I are going to release this coming week.
What?
What's that? We said what?
Wait for it.
Oh, we're waiting for it.
I'll have to tell you by the end of the night.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
By
Keep
the
our
end of the
viewers
show,
in
I'm going to
suspense.
tell you.
All right.
There we
We'll
go.
see.
We'll
That's
remind
a teaser,
you.
right?
We will remind you, Robbie,
Okay.
of that. But Jerry Lee Lewis, we lost a legend. Did you ever perform with him? Did you ever meet with him? What was your deal with him?
You know what? He was one of the greats. And if you notice, I love that commercial that you showed at the top of the show. And if you noticed on our theme song, I've got some Jerry Lee in there where I'm going to do,
Yeah.
those kind of things. You cannot play rock and roll piano and not have been inspired and have some Jerry Lee Lewis in your playing. And he's inspired me my whole life. I mean, he invented the whole style of rock and roll piano.
You think that's where Billy Joel gets his magic from?
I think every piano player in rock and roll starts, just like the masters. You start with Bach, Beethoven, and Mozart, and it's on. I mean, you're just like everybody studied the great hitters. It's the same thing. So we studied, and Jerry Lee is up there on. As far as rock and roll piano, never a better one.
No,
I
he
think
said, hey, Robbie,
Talented guy.
Jerry Lee Lewis was quoted as saying that he was the greatest piano player in the world. You believe that?
He was not lacking of any of ego and arrogance, no doubt about it. And he was pretty much of a wild man in so many respects. As a matter of fact, we played a few shows together. And one time we were doing a show, and in the sound check, he picked up and threw his chair at one of his musicians. He was so mad.
Wow.
Sounds like Frankie Valli.
I never saw Frankie Valli throw a chair at anybody.
Frankie, I'm sorry. I'm just kidding, Frankie.
I bet you saw some chairs flying in dugouts before.
You better believe it.
Yeah, no doubt. No
But
doubt.
I always compare Frankie to Billy Martin, though, sometimes.
You know what? Well, they're both Italianos and
There you go.
both the boss. So
Yeah. They
Well,
both
what-
got that temper.
Well, you guys are on tour. And is there a Sonny and Cher?
Wow.
That's a great.
oh yeah,
picture.
look at that.
Look at that. That's
Well,
pretty
Frankie's
cool stuff.
taller than Sonny. I didn't know that.
Wow.
Yeah,
Look at
Chuck
that.
Berry.
Well,
Wow.
you're on tour, and Bat Boy's hitting the road too. We're going to be at the Yogi Berra Museum on Tuesday, November 29th, and we can't wait for that show to kind of hit the stage. We have our first rehearsal tonight, so we're excited about that.
We're excited about that. And Charlie Santoro. Charlie, come on over here a second. Charlie Santoro from the Yes Network, who gets to play Yogi Berra. I'm sorry that we actually had Peter Rodriguez do a wonder. Oh, there it is.
There it is.
There it is. Charlie, come on
Oh.
over here.
That looks great.
Yeah, he looks
Oh,
like
there you
he
go.
looks like Yogi, and then we got him live on the set. There we go.
Charlie, what's your feeling about playing Yogi again?
I love it. I loved it when I did it. I think it's going to be great. I'm excited about it.
Charlie, you took off a couple of years from doing it. We had somebody. No one's been like Charlie when it came to playing Yogi.
Nope.
Huh?
I'm the man.
Yeah,
Why were you
man.
gone, Charlie? What happened to you? You disappeared. He got too big for us. He's been doing. You just finished what movie?
He went on sabbatical.
Well, what? No, he's
Oh,
working
okay.
on films. What movie did you just finish?
Gravesend,
Oh, okay.
And who else is in that film?
William DeMeo, Chaz Palminteri, and I'm doing something with John Travolta.
Get out! You're too.
Wow.
You're too. Get out of here!
Wow.
Go!
Selena Gomez.
Go!
Wow.
Go!
How in the world did you get a big
Sorry.
star like that?
Whoa,
Whoa,
Too
okay.
much. He's too
Charlie
big for
said that,
us.
but he's gonna play
We
Yogi
can't
Berra
afford. We can't
at-
afford him on the show.
at the Yogi Berra
Really,
Museum.
yeah.
We're gonna have his
It's too expensive.
family in the stands there in the audience, and Charlie kills it every single day. He's a great guy.
He's
Charlie
too
Santoro.
expensive.
Great guy. No,
Too expensive.
we'll negotiate after the show.
No, how could we pay Robbie and him?
Well, we're gonna negotiate Robbie too. I mean, you
Oh
know.
my God.
Hey, it's always good
Robbie
to
is already
negotiate.
getting
What's
full
up with this
credit. Ray,
negotiating stuff?
Robbie, and Steve. Robbie, you're in the middle, okay? But we can't pay any more money.
Okay, all right. We'll have to work it out, Robbie.
All right.
There
We need
go.
investors.
The investors, but we also started off with Bill Buckner. Now,
Yeah,
this
that was
guy, 2,700 hits. He was an all-star. I mean, 22-year career, 289 lifetime batting average, 174 home runs, over 1,200 ribbies, National League batting champion, Hall of Fame with the Cubs. He played for the Dodgers. Wasn't
Yes,
he
he
Tommy Lasorda as one of his favorite players?
Yep. Tommy Lasorda loved Bill Buckner.
It's a shame. We all remember him, or some people remember him, on this play in the 1986 World Series. Let's check it out again. It's been many years later, but we're going to rewrite history in a minute. Let's check it out.
Little roller up along first. Behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it.
I mean, one
Yep.
play wiped away almost his whole career. He was vilified in Boston until they won their own World Series.
Yeah.
And they came back, and after they won, there he is in front of the flag. They gave him a standing ovation. They really changed his heart, and they changed their heart. But Bill Buckner has always been a class act.
Totally, and a good guy. And I'm proud to be able to say that I did the very last interview that he did before he died.
Yeah, I think we have a little snippet of it. Let's play that. Ray Negron and Bill Buckner.
Bill, I am a gigantic Curb Your Enthusiasm fan. Larry David, forget about it. But the greatest all-time episode was when you was on there. I mean, how did you feel doing that day? I mean, you were such a great sport.
It was a lot of fun. Kind of made light of it. We made it fun. Luke was there. Larry's, in real life, it's just like he is in the show. He's just a crazy guy.
Now, I gotta ask you, that scene when they throw the baseball at you and you don't catch it and it goes out the window, was that your idea?
I think it was. It was the one where I said it was a horseshit throw.
Right. It was the greatest.
Yeah, people got a good laugh out of that.
Well, you was wonderful. You were really wonderful. It was the best Larry David Curb Your Enthusiasm ever, and I can't wait to see it again now.
I think we need to do a rerun.
We have to. We
Right.
have to. Just for the residuals. Thank you, brother.
All right, man.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Well, we wanted to play that, relive that, because Ray had the opportunity of sitting down with him, unfortunately, before he passed a couple of years ago. But you talk about that Curb Your Enthusiasm. We're not going to show that one because it's kind of laced with profanity. But we are going to show this one that's going to rewrite history. Let's check this out on the same episode.
It looks like quite a fire. Hey, Buck.
Hey, Larry, what are you doing?
What are you doing here?
My hotel's just right down the street, and I was going for a little walk, and...
My baby! Please, somebody help me! Please help me! Somebody help me!
Oh, God! Come on, baby, we're ready. Come on, we're ready. Let's go. We're ready now. Come on. Jump up! Call the baby! Oh my God!
Okay.
Wow. How funny is that?
I mean, we had to rewrite history a little bit.
I love it. That's super cool.
Super guy, wonderful guy.
And I agree with you. He should be in the Hall of Fame.
He should. He's a Hall of Famer. Those numbers speak for themselves.
Yeah.
And he's a Hall of Fame person, So
No doubt. Recently we had the opportunity in Bat Boy. We show a little scene of the 70s. We go back to the blackout, Con Ed in New York City, Saturday Night Fever, but we also highlight David Berkowitz, who was a big scare in New York City serial killer. Let's go back to the newscast here. We Ray and I had the opportunity to interview an author that wrote about that experience because he was in one of the cars. Let's check out the news clip.
He was shot by the son of Sam.
He was a second victim. Let's check out the news clip and then go right into the interview that we did with Carl De Niro, author.
Good evening. David Berkowitz, 24 years old, a postal worker, walked out of his Yonkers apartment last night, turned the ignition key in his car, and found himself surrounded by police. Well, he said, "You got me." Police say those words ended the biggest manhunt in New York City history with the capture of Son of Sam.
After more than 13 months of following thousands of leads down endless blind alleys, the detectives of the Brooklyn Omega Squad, part of that 300-cop 44-killer manhunt, captured the man they say is Son of Sam. The ice-cold trail heated up suddenly during the past week. A Brooklyn woman who saw a car parked illegally and occupied by a strange-looking man moments before she heard the shots of the last Son of Sam attack finally contacted police.
The man come towards me, and he looked me straight in the face. He looked at my dog, and right here, we crossed each other. So he had his arm straight down. He had a long thing like a bell sticking up his sleeve, and he made a left turn. I heard a boom.
Carl De Niro, thank you for coming on Reach Out with Ray and Steve.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Let me go right at it. You were shot by the son of Sam. When you think about that now, what could go through your mind?
Thank God I'm here tonight talking to you.
I mean, is it a phenomenon from the standpoint you went to see the son of Sam? What did he say to you?
He didn't say much. He was very remorseful. I believe he truly is sorry for what he did.
You forgive him for shooting you?
I do forgive.
Okay, wow. That's
so
fine.
just so you know, you went to the prison where David Berkowitz was.
Yes.
And how was that for you? Were you nervous?
Yeah, it was I'd be a liar to say anything else. It was quite intimidating. I'd never been to a prison before. I mean, just checking in was nerve-wracking.
How was his reaction towards you?
He was happy to see me, and
why? Because he gets no company, or because?
No, he gets more company probably than I do. He has quite a few visitors, but as it turns out, it was the first time he came face to face with a victim, and he was able to apologize, which he did for about 10 minutes. And like I said, I truly believe that he's sorry for his involvement.
And he's cited.
Paul De Niro. It's a good read. It's a true occurrence. That's the car he was in. Great guy. He gives back to his community. So, Carl, thank you for spending a few moments with that. You know, sometimes we have to talk about incidents or events that happen, and there's something going on in New York that we're going to bring up briefly. We're not going to get political or anything like that, but we Ray Negron sat down with Charlie Santoro, who we just saw a few minutes ago, at the Barclays Center, talking about Kyrie Irving. Let's check it out.
So last time you were here at the Barclays Center, you saw your son Joe win the Golden Glove championship. How do you feel about that?
It was one of the most proud days of my life. My son was the light heavyweight champion, and that summer he was the New York State light heavyweight champion. So it was really a great moment for me and our family.
So I saw you speaking to Kyrie. What were you discussing?
That's between me and Kyrie. Let me just say that, you know me, I believe in world peace, unity, and most importantly, love. Love is the answer to everything in this world, and that's what I want. Love.
Great. Thank you for the interview, Ray.
And you know, this world is being polarized as we speak, minute by minute, but it's all about love, bringing people together. And that's what Ray does. Whatever controversial topic or issue that's out there, I mean, always got to find that aspect, that ingredient to bring people together. And that's why I love this guy over here, that what he does. And, you know, Steven Spielberg had a quote about anti-Semitism. I mean, you can just read it right up on the screen there. And also Martin Luther King all condone the verbiage that's going out there and the propaganda, but it's all about bringing people together. And it's all doing God's work. And Robbie, wouldn't you agree with that?
I agree. And you know what? Ray Negron is doing God's work by the way that he does bring people together. And he can walk into a room and one side could be Dodger fans and one side could be Yankee fans, and he could bring them together, you know?
That's right. That's right. So interesting. So you got to get a little sit down with Kyrie, and it's very controversial.
Well, the thing that I want to do is I want to bring Frankie Valli and Paul Anka together.
Hey, well, you know, the wild and crazy thing is, you know, we're playing, and you showed it earlier, we are playing at the Count Basie Theater in Red Bank, New Jersey on, I'm not sure the date. It's the 10th, I think, isn't it? November the 10th.
Wow.
Is that the right date? November 10th. And you know who's playing at the Count Basie Theater on November the 9th? Paul Anka.
Ah, there we go.
And I'm going to go see Paul Anka's show on November the 9th because I'm coming into town on that day, and I'm going to go see Paul Anka's show the night before we do our show.
Are you going to tell Frankie that you're going to go see Paul Anka?
Yeah, Frankie's cool with Paul. Frankie and Paul get along well.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Well, our next guest is a friend of Bat Boy, friend of our show. He's a double author now, and we're going to get into his book in a minute. But he's also friendly with David Cohn. And David Cohn did a little video a couple of years ago with El Duque, a commercial. Before we bring out Squeegee, let's check out David Cohn in action on the screen.
All right.
What's this dance called?
It's the El Duque.
Hey, Connie, why don't you have a dance?
One of the best commercials ever.
Hey, fellas.
There's our buddy.
How you guys doing?
Good. How you doing?
Squeegee, first let me say congratulations on your new book. You've been working on this for a while, and you put your heart and soul into it, and people don't understand what goes into these books and how hard this is. Just because of the children's, it's as hard, if not harder, than the adult books. So I commend you 1,000,000,000%.
Thank you, Ray. I appreciate that. I follow your lead, brother, because you wrote a lot of books for kids, adults, and what you do exactly. I was listening backstage, what you do for communities, you and Steve and Robbie, and just trying to be in your footsteps, brother, because you are doing God's work.
And you know what I love about the book? Let's go back to the book cover. Pop that up on the screen for a minute, because when you're a Yankee fan and you step off that train, that subway, and then you see Yankee Stadium like that, your eyes are like big, and you can't wait to get to the ballpark. So you captured the moment of the anticipation of going to Yankee Stadium.
That's every fan in the world,
Right.
That's ever gone to Yankee Stadium. That's what they see.
Right.
In the old stadium, you had the bat. So I was trying to capture, the 161 River Avenue train station with all kids, because that's what it's about. It's all about the kids. Every kid dream is to go to Yankee Stadium.
We lost Luigi.
Yeah, we had
Sorry, guys. That was a phone call. Sorry. So yeah, every kid's dream to go back. Every kid's dream is to go to Yankee Stadium and catch a game. So I was trying to capture the moment for kids, the blimp, the train, and the background of the stadium when you get off 161 River Avenue.
Squeegee, I got to ask you, whenever I do a book, it's something hits me and it stays in my brain. And if I don't get up out of bed immediately and start writing, I lose it. How was it for you?
It's the same way. A writer has to lock himself in, focus, capture every detail, because you want the reader to understand not just only the message, carry every detail that they see in the book as they're reading. So it took me, no lie, this book a year. The first book took me 3 years.
Wow.
And you know what? When you read these books to kids, what's your impression of their reaction when you're sitting down with them in a school or at a community center?
Well, I want to capture their emotion, which is this book, The Lucky Baseball, is my childhood. I was bullied, so it has that aspect in it. I had a friend stick up for me, and the mentors like Ray Negron, David Cohn, and Darryl Strawberry along my teenage years guided me in the right path, because you can't get lost in these streets and in the urban communities. So this is for every kid out there, that reading is important, number one. Number two, staying in school is very important as well, and listening to your parents and teachers, and you will achieve your goals, because along the way, mentors like Ray, David, and Darryl, who have helped me in my life, have guided me here to spread that positive message.
Wow.
Now, just recently, one of our former Bat Boys, he lost his son about 4 or 5 months ago, Sam Carey, and then his wife 2 weeks ago passed away.
Yeah, Sam is a part of our Bat Boy fraternity family, man. And I reached out to him yesterday, and he is so grateful for the prayers that we're all praying for him. And we're by his side and letting him know he's not alone, Ray. Like, you showed me, buddy, like you're in the book. You picked me out of a bucket. I'm going to ruin the surprise because you gave me a second chance, just like Steinbrenner gave you a second chance at life.
Wow.
Yeah. And, you're doing double duty because Bat Boy's right around the corner, and you kill it with your acting. But really what I love about you is the passion that you have behind it, because you're reliving what it is to be on the streets in the Bronx. And go back to that picture for a minute. Right there, that's Carmine, and playing Little Ray.
That's Little Ray.
That's
Little Ray.
Little Ray.
Talk about why it's important to capture that moment, what it's like to be on the streets in the Bronx, and why we have to all band together right now because it's a difficult time.
Just like the work that you, Steve, and Ray is doing. The Bronx is like back in the days. It's burning again. A lot of violence, gun violence. We both lost family members, me and Ray, to gun violence. And, we had to get these kids some more programs, reading, get off video games that are violent. And we need more mentors, more people to participate and help us get these kids off the streets.
Robbie, what do you think?
I think, yeah, mentor. That's powerful. First of all, I love Squeegee, man. He is such a great guy, and you're doing God's work every day, brother. And it just jumps out of your persona, everything that you do.
Thank you, Robbie, man. You guys are my mentors, man. And what you guys do every Wednesdays, letting people speak on this platform about positivity. We need more of that in the news channels on TV.
Amen.
Not just here, man. And we just got to continue to do God's work. And like I said, Ray, you inspired me again, brother, and I appreciate you. And this book is paying thank you to my mentors. It's not just about me.
Well, this is how I'm going to thank you, Squeegee, right now. My eyes adored you. Though I never laid a hand on you, my eyes adored you.
Hey, I've got a question for all you guys who might have been bat boys. Raise your hand if you've ever been a bat boy.
Okay, right here, brother. Me and Ray.
So
and Steven is time.
Steven literally game yesterday, you know, and I'm watching that home run. Oh gosh, what's his name? Hit a big home run in the first inning.
Harper.
Yeah, Harper hit that home run. Bryce Harper, and right out of the bat, the bat boys right there giving him a big high five. And I just and I thought about both of you guys. Can you tell the audience what goes through your mind when you see that player, whether it's David Cone walking in after a perfect game that you inspired, Luigi, or
Derek Jeter?
No, I was going to say, who was? There we go.
What is it? Oh man, look at that. So what does it feel like? What goes through your mind, Squeegee, in those moments?
Oh, you become a kid again. You become a little kid.
You was a kid. What are you talking about? You become a kid.
Well, you become like 9 years old again, and you see the emotion.
Look how old he is. Look at the beard he's got going on there.
You see the emotion of the player become a kid, and you just get caught in the emotion in the moment. And they also treat you like family. And you see them once they cross home plate and give you a high five and all the other teammates. Yeah. So it's a special moment that you share for life forever. And it sticks with the player and the bat boy. Which we have a bat boy now named Alex, who's doing a great job. Alex Rodriguez.
He should be watching this show. If he's not, he's out of the fraternity. But I was gonna say that the one beautiful thing that me and Squeegee share is that we both took care of the core captains of the Yankees. The Yankees had 3 core captains: Lou Gehrig, Thurman Munson, and Derek Jeter.
You took care of Lou Gehrig?
And so anyway, the aspect that, I know exactly how Squeegee feels, especially that moment right there, because every time that Jeter would hit a home run or Thurman hit a home run, it was like the first time. That feeling is always exhilarating. It's always like you're always at a high. You feel you hit the darn home run.
That's true. That's very true, Ray. And they make you feel part of the family, and it's a long season, and they treat you like one of them, and that's special when they, they see you doing hard work and they reward you with a little high five and TV time.
And it is a family in that dugout, isn't it?
Oh, yes. Being in the dugout with all of them and hearing the chatter and seeing them, whether they come from behind or are in the lead in the game, you see them act like little kids, and that's special because a lot of fans don't see that. And what the fans are doing this year, and it's not just Yankee Stadium that I've seen, booing a player. If he's wearing your uniform and playing for you, everybody's going to go through a slump. But don't keep booing them, because that's going to make them not want to perform, extra stress. So the fans have to cheer a guy on, even if they're in a slump.
Now, Squeegee, the Yankees just got swept. I hate saying that. You're a bleacher creature. You have lots of friends out there. How big of a hit is it for you and the other bleacher creatures out there that the Yankees have been swept away?
Oh, it's a long off season, and anything but winning and hosting up that World Series trophy over our heads. It's a failure for players, the organization, fans, manager, coaches, anybody that works at Yankee Stadium. And they're taking it hard, and they're going to be back in full force next year. And hopefully we get the job done. But right now, we're all in depression mode.
It hurts. I can relate from my side of the fence too, Luigi.
Well, I love the Dodgers, but Robbie, I always gonna be a Yankee at heart, man.
Hey, nothing. And that's the beautiful thing about baseball. I really do love baseball in that regard, and you should root for your home team with all the gusto.
Oh, and Aaron Judge is signing here. Me and Ray Negron and all of us, we're gonna chip in with the fans, and we're gonna give him a big contract. He's not gonna wear the Dodger blue.
He's not. I don't know. We could get a tailor to make a bigger Dodger uniform for him.
No. He's a Yankee. Mookie Betts. You can keep Mookie. We don't like Boston either. Keep all those players.
I don't know. I like the idea of you start off with Mookie Betts, Trey Turner batting second, Freddie Freeman batting third, and who better to bat cleanup than Aaron Judge?
Squeegee, for the last 3 months, Robbie's making a pitch for Aaron Judge. Now that the Dodgers aren't playing anymore, we hear more of it now. So
yeah, I know.
I mean, Squeege, he's staying in the Bronx, right? That's the bottom line.
He's staying here. Bottom line, me and Ray and everybody, we're gonna get it done. We're gonna make sure the Steinbrenner sign him because he's a Yankee and will always be a Yankee.
Well, the Dodgers are. I'm trying to get the Dodgers to sign Sandy Koufax because I saw him not too long ago, and I think he could still pitch. So maybe we need to sign him.
Wow.
Now, Squeegee, tell the fans basically how you can get the book.
You can get the Lucky Baseball right now on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles online for $15.95. And also what I want to say is not only does this have an inspirational message for kids and you know, to uplift the kids and to reading more books, but also every dollar I'm personally going to help to donate to the St. Jude's Cancer. If every book that's purchased, $1 will go to the St. Jude's on my behalf.
Right.
Awesome.
Good for you,
And you know, Squeege, when we do Bat Boy on November 29th at the Yogi Berra Museum, we have a Q&A. I have to put a table out with your book there and talk about it to the audience that night because it's a book that needs to get in the children's hands and school districts. They need to have that. And by you having that presentation and that chance of second chances, that story can help so many people out there and has
very true
people out there.
Very true. Thank you guys. And Ray, like I said, he's in the book, and like David Cohn and Daryl, because those were my mentors, and also Tina Lewis, the lady that gave me the opportunity.
Tina Louise from Gilligan's Island?
No, from the right field bleachers.
Okay.
Who gave me the opportunity. And this book is just paying the forward of the thank yous for guys like and women that helped me in my life become the man that I am today.
Squeeze, one more time. How can people get a hold of your book and get a hold of you?
They can get a hold of me on social media, Facebook.
Squeegee's married, all right?
Romantic relationship.
Well, that's not how you said it, Steve.
Get a hold of him.
He's married with children.
Okay, you're reading too much. You've got Gilligan's Island on your mind, first of all.
Yeah, he's the. But yeah, the fans or people in general and kids can purchase the book on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles, and then you can find me on Facebook and Instagram, Luigi Squeegee, LuigiSqueegee.
I gotta get a name, Luigi Squeegee. Mine's Steve Caro. Too boring.
It's Steve Marshmallow.
Yeah, right, there we go.
Robbie Rob, and you got Ray Negron, and you got Steve Marshmallow.
There you go. I love it.
I've spelled your name Squeegee 18 different times since I've known you. So anyway, it's all good.
Thank you guys.
Thank you, man. We love you very much.
I appreciate you guys.
The Lucky Baseball. You gotta get a book.
Lucky Baseball. Pick it up.
That's cool. That book looks really, really good. I've got to get a book for my grandkids.
Yes.
There we go. So Robbie, I mean, it's all about the young people. You inspire young people. You collaborate with young people. Why is that important for you?
Oh gosh, I really don't think about it intentionally about young people. I just like to collaborate with super talented people, and sometimes young people come up with super talent, and that's important to me. But I do like to one thing that you cannot take away from in music or in baseball, whether it be a Yogi Berra or whether it be a David Cohn or whether it be a Dave Roberts on his own level, or an Aaron Boone, might I say, and that is experience. Experience brings all kinds of perspective and education that you can only get through experience, through having lived through it. And that's one of the things that I like to do, is sometimes share some of my experiences and pass on some of my insights that I might have in music with people who don't have that kind of experience. And so there are people who are willing to listen. I'm always willing to share.
That's right. And recently you sat down with a young lady performer. Talk about her before we watch this interview in a minute.
You know what? Andrea Hammond is, again, one of those super talented young people in our business, extraordinarily talented on a multi-dimensional level. She's a great singer. She's a great songwriter. She's a great producer. She's a great violinist. She is an extraordinary musician, and she went back with me to our Robinson Brothers homecoming concert. I mean, we had Sarah Nimitz and Andrea Hammond performing with an all-star band that was just really extraordinary. And we raised a lot of money for the St. Francis Hospital, and specifically for their cancer ward. And there's some of the musicians, and now we took old and young there with us. A bunch of musicians and friends that you guys all know. Of course, Chris Montez, rock and roll legend, one of the Jersey Boys, Craig Pilo, Harry Kim, some of Frankie Valli's musicians, some Steve March Torme, and what a show we had. But I sat down and talked with her last week about going back to Litchfield and sharing, and everybody sharing their gifts to benefit the cancer division of St. Francis Hospital.
Yeah, let's check out. Check it out.
Hello, everybody. This is going to be a very special night. I am so excited because this is going to be really, well, it's not the first time, but it's the first time in a couple of years that we're going to have as our special guest tonight one of the most extraordinary musicians that I've ever known in my life, one of the most extraordinary musicians that you've ever heard in your life, a young lady who's an incredible singer, an incredible musician, an incredible writer, an incredible violinist, and has got a big heart for the Lord, and her name is Andrea Hammond. Give her a nice virtual Jammin' Java welcome, Miss Andrea Hammond.
Hey. Aww. Hello, Robbie. Hello, all the Jammin' Java peeps out there. It's so great to be with you.
It's so cool to have you on this show. And of course, today, one of the things that we have to talk about is the Litchfield experience. So we went back with the Robinson Brothers All-Star Band to Litchfield, Illinois, and I had a chance to show Litchfield off to you and show you off to Litchfield. So what do you think of Litchfield?
I can't wait to go back.
I love it.
Really, I'm so serious. So I was raised in the Midwest. So when that plane landed and, you get the smell of the air and the fresh air, I've been living in LA too long. But yeah, it really did feel like it lived up to its name of being a homecoming. So just being there and feeling the support of the community and just being there for the great cause that we were there for, and seeing how much the community loves you. That was a huge blessing. So,
well, it's a kind of a fun thing in a small town. Everybody knows everybody, and it's definitely a different dynamic, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it's great. And I think it was really cool to see how the musicians responded, to that kind of kindness, being around it. Like, oh, wow, people are genuinely asking how I am.
Yeah.
So it was neat. It's like, yeah, welcome to the Midwest.
It is the Midwest. Daryl Strawberry, I had him not to drop names, but Daryl Strawberry was a guest on this show. And he's lived in New York. I mean, he grew up in L.A., and he lived in New York and lived in L.A., and now he lives in St. Louis area. And he said it was the weirdest thing. He said, and you pull up to a stoplight and people wave to you. You don't even know them,
Yeah, I guess you could take that a couple different ways.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's all a good thing. Well,
Yeah, it was a good
and the band was rocking, and you were a big part of that rocking too, kiddo.
Oh my gosh, so many incredible musicians. It was like we were one amazing giant musician. It was so great. And to be able to sing with Sarah and Steve and to sing that music, you know, I often, like in my past, just romanticized that music. So singing the Frankie Valli tunes was probably my favorite, and to do it with Steve and Sarah, that was
and Christopher Calais Jones, of course, the guy from Jersey Boys, was singing Frankie's parts. But you guys were the Four Seasons.
Yeah, and we've joked about that before. Like we joked about you want to audition to be one of the Four Seasons. So I feel like it happened. So
And like you, what was like Sherry baby, right?
Yeah,
all that stuff.
It was so fun. That music is so fun. It was just, I had so much fun on stage, you know, and watching Christopher sing those parts. And I felt like part of the audience as well, just thoroughly enjoying making music with everyone.
For the love I do try and find, we just can't leave behind us, baby. What you gone? Oh no, get over and stay. Let's hang on to what we've got. Don't let go, girl. We got a lot between us. Hang on, hang on.
Does that have a repeat there?
I sang all the parts with Jim.
Mr. Bassman.
And you know what I get to see every time we do a Frankie concert is I see that audience respond to his music. And it's amazing to me. And the demographic is from teenagers to 80-somethings and everything in between. And they all respond to that music. It's amazing that the music of Bob Gaudio, I've said so often, somehow has this magical quality to touch hearts and lives of all demographics.
Yeah, it's so sincere, you know? Yeah.
And
it's
you
really
sang the solo on one of the biggest hits of Frankie, You Can't Take My Eyes Off You.
Ooh. Yeah.
And you killed it.
Those are big shoes to fill, but yeah, it was a great tune to sing. It was really meaningful, and my parents were there, and it was great. Carla, your beautiful wife, Carla, got my mom out on the floor. So it was great. I was trying to get her out earlier in the show. And she's like, no. And then during the last few songs, I looked down and there's my mom, front and center, dancing with Carla.
I love it.
So
it was so cool to have your parents there, because you don't get a chance to perform in front of your parents very often, I imagine.
Yeah, it was great that they were able to stop by. They had a wedding to go to earlier in the day, and it was a Catholic ceremony, so we weren't sure how long it was going to take.
Yeah.
They just hit the bricks right after, and I think they arrived right at 7:30, so right in time for our downbeat. And so that was really special to have them there and to spend some time with them. So it's great.
Well, I think we need to play for the Jam and Java audience for a minute. I think we need to play one of the songs that you sang. So let's play that right now. What do you think, kid?
Sounds great.
All right. Well, that was the end of the interview, and then we segued into May God Give You. I don't know if we have that song to play.
Yeah, we're going to end the show with that, but we have a special guest here that plays Diana Munson in our play.
Come on.
Oh, great.
Gigi.
This is Gigi.
Hi.
Diane
Hi.
Cormio. How do you say? What is? That's Robbie Robinson.
Robbie, hello, we met.
Hello, Gigi. You get to be in Bat Boy. How cool is that?
Oh, it's the best.
Now you become Diane Munson. How is
I
that?
am Diana Munson.
Now,
Yeah.
when you get together with Diane, what do you guys talk about?
We talk about Thurman. What else is there to talk about?
And what is there to talk about? Tell us.
He's the
Share
greatest
that.
man ever. He was a wonderful husband and father. He was the greatest bull on the field. And it was a tragedy.
And how do you handle now? You become very emotional. How do you handle that?
I reach back to when I really found out. I was 14 years old. I was devastated. He was my number one player. And when Ray asked me to be in this, I'm like, I'm no actress. He's like, just think about when you found out. And that's what I do.
Wow.
And the first show we had at the Argyle Theater in Long Island, Joey Gian played Thurman Munson. How was that experience?
Oh, he was fantastic. You know, he's a pro. And he helped me become that easy going on with being on a live audience.
I was going to say that it was great that you were working with Joey Gian. Was Robbie? You remember Joey Gian from Knots Landing, and he worked with the great Nicolette Sheridan and actresses like that, and he was able to take you and just mold you into becoming Diane.
I'm going for an Oscar next year, so it'll be fun.
There you go.
All right.
Okay.
You remember the little people, right? You remember the little people, right?
That's right.
It goes back to what I was saying earlier.
Thank
It's all
you so
about
very much.
Yeah.
Now, Robbie, you were telling us about a song that Miss Hammond had. What song are we going to listen to?
Okay, this is a song that she and I collaborated with and wrote. It's called May God Give You, and it was inspired by the blessing that Vin Scully pronounced over all of his fans on his very last Dodger broadcast. And interestingly enough, put the guys back up here a second. You know, I've been watching the World Series games, and in the commercials, there's a commercial with Vin Scully doing this exact same bit that you're going to see at the beginning of our song.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna watch this show together, this song together. Robbie, thank you so very much, Ray.
Robbie, we'll see you next week.
Hey, I'll be out in New York. Can we get a tour of Yankee Stadium? Is there anything good going on?
Whatever you want.
Yeah, right. Whatever you want. I heard it right here. We heard it right here.
All right.
I wrote it down. We got it down on paper.
Cool.
All right, let's check it out.
See ya.
God bless.
May God give you for every storm a rainbow, for every tear a smile, for every care a promise, and a blessing in each trial. For every problem life seems a faithful friend to share, for every sigh a sweet song, and an answer for each prayer.
May God give you an answer for each prayer. May the Lord show you He's real and really there. We bow before the Lord and hope His love He will share. May God give you an answer for each prayer. For every storm a rainbow, for every tear a smile, for every care a promise, a blessing in each trial. For every problem life sends a faithful friend to share. For every sigh a sweeter song, an answer to each prayer. And may God give you an answer for each prayer. May the Lord show you He's real and really there. We bow before the Lord and hope His love He will share. May God give you an answer for each prayer. God give you an answer for each prayer. May the Lord show you He's real and really there. We bow before the Lord and hope His love He will share. May God give you, bless and keep you. May God give you an answer for each prayer.